forecourt. 5 minutes to go. 4-point game. Here's Ransom to Jensen. Back to Reed. Reed's going to drive left side. Doesn't go. Blocking foul. He'll shoot 2.
Jacob Fletcher, I think, is going to get the foul. Jacob set up to take the charge, but they said he wasn't set, so that's going to put Justin Reed on the line for 2 shots here, I believe, with the Vikings up by 4, 68-64 with 4:51 left in the game.
Reed 2 out of 3. There's number 5 on that Avila uniform. Misses the first one. He's a 75% free throw shooter. But
that's kind of ugly, that one.
Yeah, just 50% tonight. 68-64. Back in for the stretch run, Cedric Johnson. And also back in, Trey Bales.
Vikes again trying to win their 6th conference game of the year. They're 5-7 in conference play, trying to move to 6-7 and like to even it up this Saturday up at Peru.
Huge game tonight. 15, I have with 18.
18 is what I've
68-65, a 3-point game. Fletcher into the forecourt. Double team, stops the dribble, looks for help, and gets it to Thomas in the lane. He goes up from the right side with the left hand and scores again.
19, I've got Jim for 19, coming off that 23-point performance out at the Mid-America last Saturday.
70-65, 4:25 go. Valley with the lead. Jensen pops out top of the key. Around to Johnson. Now back out front to Bales, who hands it to Reed. Vikings stay in the man-to-man. 14 on the shot clock. Reed drives left side. Stop. Pulls up. 17-footer. No good. Powell goes over the back and gets away with it. Gets the rebound.
And I mean, Jim Thomas is on Brandon Murillo like you know what on you know what.
And now a nice no-look pass baseline to Thomas from Hamilton. A great assist. The bucket is good. Vikings up by 7 again. Jim Thomas has had a couple of games. And what a pass by Hamilton. That may be underlooked in his game.
Yeah,
his passing
that was very unselfish play that time.
A good shooter, good defender. The boy he can pass it too. Good ball handler. Now here's Cedric Johnson. Cut off by Powell. 12 on the shot clock. 3:30 in the game. Vikings by 7. Powell takes the outside shot by Johnson. Rims it and out. It goes off the hands of Jensen. It'll be Viking ball. And Rodney Perry saying something to his star player, Cedric Johnson. I think he probably wants Cedric to drive inside, make something happen.
Yeah, and Cedric, Vikes did a good job. They double and triple team Cedric. They knew he was the guy that was going to try to go with it.
Now they give it to Hamilton, and Brad says, everybody clear out. I'll bring this thing up against Trey Bales by myself, and he does. Into the forecourt. Now he'll set up the play. 72-65. Top of the key. Hamilton drives in, kicks it in the corner for Powell. You bet. Jacob Powell having the night of the year. And it's 75-65. Back to a 10-point lead.
That's 19 points for Jay. He and Jim Thomas both have 19.
Wow, what a performance by those two young men. Underneath, Jensen got loose and scored. And a timeout is going to be taken as Jordan Jensen got loose. Noticing something, the Vikings have the ball, that you're seeing Brad Hamilton as the point guard now. I'll ask Chad after the game about that strategy, but they're putting Jim Thomas off into the corner almost as the off guard and having Hamilton run the show. I think that shows you how well that they like the way he can handle the ball and his decisions in passing the ball.
Oh, yeah, and he's made some good passes, and he made a couple no-look passes wide open. That time he penetrated, found Jacob Powell alone in the corner. And, boy, you'd think of Jacob's an inside guy, but he's knocked down 2 big triples here in the second half. 19 points for him, 19 points for Jim Thomas. And, boy, they've given this team a big lift tonight. And been a good game by the Vikings. This Avila team is just, they've kept hanging around, but the Vikings now starting to put a little separation in there. Let's see if we keep it going with just under 3 minutes left to play in the game.
75-67. You'd think a 7 or 8 point lead with a minute to go, but if you watch that Kansas State game, Kansas State was ahead by 7 with 1 minute left.
I've never seen anything like that.
And boom, boom, boom. Next thing you know, it's a tie.
I would have said they have no chance of winning that game in overtime. Boy, they came out in the overtime period and took complete control, didn't they?
Oh, you remember a few years ago when Kansas and Missouri were still playing in Columbia. Kansas had a lead like that in the last minute. Missouri came back and won it in regulation.
Yeah, they did.
With that 3-point shot and a couple of turnovers, a 7 or 8 point lead isn't much to make up. And that's where we're at right now, is an 8-point lead. So the Vikings have to take care of the basketball. There are plenty of possessions left in this game. Now they give it off to Hamilton. He's double teamed. The ball was tipped, but Powell gets it off to Thomas. Thomas wisely gets it into the forecourt before the 10-second count. And now we'll set up the offense from the top of the point. And he looks and now has to call a timeout. Nowhere to go with it.
Good timeout, though.
Nobody was open.
That was a turnover waiting to happen right there, and a good timeout by Jim Thomas, Chad Lance to stop the action. 2:32 left in the game. Vikings still up by 8, and they've got the pelota right now.
75-67, 2:32 to go. Again, we will be in Peru, Nebraska on Saturday. 2 and 4 o'clock starts as this basketball season starting to wind down.
And next Thursday, folks, if you want to see an exciting team play, come out here to the Burns Athletic Complex, Grover C. Redford Gymnasium, and watch the Culver Stockton men. You talk about a team that runs up down the floor and launches shot after shot after shot. A very exciting team, and there are women getting much better too. And that's the next home game. Then again, another home game next week, a week from Sunday. The Benedictine Ravens here.
Hamilton the inbound. The Vikings run that weave out front. Rub off screens to get open, and now a foul is going to be called on Reed as he fouls Brad Hamilton.
That's his fourth.
And that will put Hamilton at the free throw line. That foul was way out by the half-court stripe. Let's see if Brad Hamilton can knock these down. Brad is kind of quiet offensively as far as scoring is concerned. Now he misses that free throw. But Jacob Powell with an offensive rebound. He tries to tip it to himself.
Wow, that would have been big if Jacob could have gotten that one to go.
Now here come the Eagles. And a foul is going to be called as Murillo drives in from the right side. He's going to be fouled by James Lane. Yeah, how about a turnaround there? If you get that one to go, you're up again by 10. By 10, yep. 9 or 10, 10 points now. If he makes these free throws, boom, it's a 6-point game.
Two-possession game, yeah. And I would guess Murillo a pretty good free throw shooter. I don't have his stats.
He's at the free throw line here. Let's see if the young man can knock these down. His first one is good. Good rotation on that one. And Murillo, who averages 12.1 a game, is well over that.
He's got 19. He's got 19. Jacob Powell's got 19. Jim Thomas has 19.
Wild number there. Murillo, by the way, is a 73% free throw shooter.
Seems like he's been playing here for a long time.
Devontae Lewis into the game here in the last couple of minutes. And Taylor's going to come back in.
Taylor getting ready to set the check back in. While.
Murillo's second free throw. Missed it. They've missed a lot of free throws, and Powell with a rebound. Powell gets the rebound, 75-68. 2:11 to go. Andre Scott, top of the circle. Vikings now need to work the clock and get a good shot. Andre, top of the circle, drives left side all the way, leans, nothing there. Kicks it back to Hamilton, 15 on the shot clock, under 2 minutes to go. Hamilton, top of the key, works for a screen. Right side to Thomas. Thomas leans in, free throw line, 15-footer won't go. Rebound Jensen, good defensive effort that time by the Eagles. Quickly, they bring it up to Johnson. He'll drive in, scores, do they count? No.
Nope. And Jim Thomas got him out on the baseline. Coach Rodney Perry wants the NBA continuation, but he's not going to get it, I don't think.
They said, no, it was a foul, but it was on the drive. It was way out on the floor, so Johnson will have to earn him. He's 4 out of 5 from the line, but that does stop the clock with 1:39 to go, and Thomas picks up his first foul
Jim
of the
Thomas,
game.
yeah, first foul. Played all this time and played a very good game and only one foul.
Well, let's see what Cedric can do here. 4 out of 5 from the line. He has 10 points, make it 11. 75-69. Mentioned still several possessions left in this game. Taylor will come back in. He got them both. 5-point game. It was 10 not long ago.
Well, Vikes just need to keep doing what they've been doing. Don't get too conservative right here with 1:39 left to play. Just keep putting the pedal to the metal.
Right, there's going to be 4 or 5 more possessions in this game. Now the pressure, Jacob Powell has it. They try to take it away from him, and now they do knock it away and take it away from him. Powell loses it. Bales picked it up. Here comes Murillo. High arching three, won't go. Ball off the top of the backboard. Ball loose on the floor, and do we get a timeout? Are they going to call a tie-up? Chad Lance was screaming for a timeout, and I think he got it. 75-70. 1:20 to go. Boy, Murillo had a good look, and that could have been a 2-point game.
Yeah, he was deep, though. He was pretty deep.
75-72, 1:20 to go. So the Vikings, even though they turned it over, get the ball back. Here's what's happening the rest of the weekend, into the weekend. A lot going on. Tomorrow, I mentioned men's volleyball. They're in Milwaukee. An indoor track. Some of the athletes will be heading to Indiana for a meet. Saturday, we'll be at Peru for basketball at 2 and 4. Men's lacrosse was scheduled to start their season on Saturday, but weathered out. So we'll see when that makeup is. The cheerleaders and the dance team go to the conference championships at Baker. Men's volleyball, I mentioned, at the Stritch University Tournament in Milwaukee. And indoor track, some of the athletes still.
I was talking to Coach Matt Dwyer, the assistant men's baseball coach down. Matt's down on the baseline. Talking to him before this game, and he says they were supposed to play St. Mary's College out of Kansas, I think, in either a doubleheader or a 3-game series. Is he going to play this weekend, Matt? He said, nope, don't think so.
Don't think so. I think it's even, a little too much ice, too much snow. Not going to happen. Try to schedule baseball games in February in this part of the country, just not going to work.
I'll tell you, the last couple of years, you'd have had better luck scheduling them in January than you would have in February.
Yep. 75-70, Vikings will have the ball. 1:20 to go.
Didn't they called a foul, didn't they? I thought they called a foul on the play, but maybe not.
No, I think they just ruled
the Vikings got a
timeout.
timeout before they got the tie-up. I thought they said somebody whacked into Jacob Powell, but I guess not.
Nope, just possession. So now here's Hamilton into the forecourt. Wouldn't be a bad one to foul. Hamilton takes it baseline. Vikings need to run some clock. It's a 5-point game. Thomas works that left side, guarded by Bales. Now here he comes. Thomas drives in, and he's going to be fouled by Bales. Bales hooked him on the arm, and Jim Thomas will head to the free throw line. He is 1 for 1 there tonight.
2 free throws could be big here. This could make this a 3-possession game if Jim can knock both these down with just over a minute left to play, 1:01.
Bales picks up his second foul. Both teams will be in the double bonus from this point on. Come on, Jim. Left-hander, St. Louis for 20 points. Got it.
Got it. Good job.
20-point night for Jim Thomas. He'll have another one.
20 tonight, 23 last Saturday against Mid-America. Good to see him stepping up like that.
Lafayette Burton will come back in. Next one is on the way. Good.
There we go.
Thomas gets them both. 77-70. 3-possession game now with 1:01 to go. Just play some good defense, make them take some time off the clock. Vikings go to a little pressure in the backcourt. Now off to Cedric Johnson. Johnson gives it off to Murillo. Murillo throws it away. Rafi Burton taps it away. Vikings have the ball. Now the lane. Now you can really run some clock with that 3-possession game. Going to have to foul. Hamilton says, come and foul me if you like. They're not going to foul yet. Clock is down to 40 seconds. Vikings running a weave out front, and finally Lane is fouled by Johnson. But that took about 20 seconds off the clock. That was big. Vikings trying to go 6 and 7 in the league.
Good, very smart offensive basketball by the Vikings right there, trying to run that clock. And I'm really surprised Avila did not foul, like you said, but it didn't happen. So
let's see if James Lane can knock these down. Jim, 1 out of 2, has 7 points. First free throw on the way. Got it. And the Vikings continue to extend this lead. Back to an 8-point lead, 78-70 with 38 seconds to go. Powell will come back in. What a game for Jacob Powell. Next one by Lane. Good. 9-point game. So the Vikings in pretty good shape. We'll see what happens on this possession. In it comes to Johnson. The Vikings put a little pressure on just to make him take more time getting that ball up court. Johnson loses the handle on the ball.
It's
picked
over.
up by
It's over
Hamilton.
now.
Here comes Hamilton. Now he is going to be fouled, but that'll do it. 28.4 seconds to go. 79-70. Hamilton goes to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, Vikes going to move to 6 and 7 in conference play. A chance to go back to the 500 mark if we can go on the road and get our second win of the season against Peru, and that'd be nice to. That's not an easy place to play, but a game we're very capable of winning.
Big win tonight. Hamilton misses the free throw. Brad off on his shooting a little bit tonight, but boy, he did everything else well.
Well, it's nice to see the team win when he does not. I don't want to say he doesn't contribute offensively because he's made some great passes, but you know he's our leading scorer. It's nice to see us win when he has a bad shooting night.
And he knocked that free throw down, 80-70. We have a couple of scores in on the men's side. Pass those along after the game. But 24 seconds to go. Now into the lane. A little teardrop. Shot won't go for Reed. Vikings have it. Thomas is fouled. And 18.8 seconds to go. Valley with a 10-point lead. So they're going to go to 6 and 7. And this Avila team will be 3 and 10 in the league.
Yep.
Boy, they have lost some tough ones.
And don't forget, folks, 2 home games next week. We're on the road at Peru Saturday, but next Thursday night, Culver Stockton's here. A week from Sunday, the Benedictine Lady and Men Ravens. What's a Lady Raven called? Do you know? A Ravenette?
Ravenette? I don't have a clue. I'll just call them the Ravens.
All right. Lady Ravens.
Cannot be sexist on that. We'll just call them the Ravens.
Okay, all right. Jim Thomas, another big night for Jim. That's 22, I believe, for him.
So 22 for
23,
Thomas, 81 to 70. There's a long shot taken by Murillo, no good, and that's going to do it. And the Vikings come away with a must-needed win here. 81 to 70 is the final. So the Vikings, it was a tough game. Avila gave it a heck of a shot tonight. But Valley comes out on top of this one by the score of 81 to 70.
I think 24 for Jim Thomas when I recount.
Wow. We'll be back with the coach and the scoring in just
a moment. Brought to you by feedthepig.org.
Well, I finally did it. I opened a 401k.
So you're giving up, just like that.
Giving up on what?
I'm getting an inheritance from a distant relative.
Don't you think if there were a billionaire in the family, we'd know about it by now?
Listen to me. We are one phone call away from riding horses on our own private polo grounds. One call from christening yachts, having a butler, using summer as a verb.
How do you figure?
Look, everyone's got a rich uncle somewhere. It's statistics. So the best thing you can do is just prepare for the inevitable.
Right, which is why I thought maybe it would be smart to take control of my finances. You know, start using a budget, get out of debt, set some retirement goals.
Budgets? Debt? You watch your mouth. Retirement shouldn't be a goal for us. It should be a way of life. When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
We are back to Grover C. Redford Gymnasium on the campus of Missouri Valley College, where the Vikings just won it by the score of 81 to 70. Valley shooting 56% tonight from the field, 30 out of 54 from the field. Chad Lance joins us, and Coach, let's talk. Number one, we knew without saying it how important this game was tonight.
Well, it was important, we needed to get back on the streak. You come off of a tough loss at Mid-America, and I always say the true test of a good team is how well you bounce back from a loss, and we responded to a very good, tough, hard-nosed Avila ball club.
Jim Thomas, 24 points. His last 2 games, he's really been something for you.
He's been doing a good job. That's what seniors are supposed to do. Good senior leadership. Thought he did a very good job. The best you can do on Cedric. Cedric is a very good player. Keep him contained, and he did a nice job. Stepped up and knocked down those free throws there towards the end, and that's what we needed the senior to be able to do.
Jacob Powell, talk about his performance.
Jake he was awesome. He's that skilled forward that can handle it, that can really dribble, and we needed that tonight because they're going to try to take away a lot of different guys, and we knew that 4-man would be crucial to be able to make plays tonight.
Big ball game for you, Coach. They got it close. You made a nice run at the end. Brad Hamilton did not have – it's good to see that your team can respond and put 81 points on the board, and your leading scorer doesn't score a lot. But, boy, he is a heck of a passer. I think that's the understated part of his game.
Well, when we recruited Brad, a lot of people didn't know is that what his skill level was. He doesn't look, flamboyant and like he can really break you down off the dribble, but he does a great job with his body. He gets good separation, and he really sees the floor. And I think it's always a plus when they take him away, but yet he can still facilitate. How many assists did he have tonight? He just had 3 assists, but you know what? He made a lot of other plays that were huge for us.
Yeah, I may have had a few more assists when you break down the film. You may give him a couple more there.
Sure.
And you even had him playing the point for a while tonight. I commented on that. Yeah, Jim Thomas kind of the off guard. You have that much confidence in him, don't you?
I really do. You know, they try to take you out, and Jim knew that. You know, they really try to take out the point guard, and so we worked on all week is for him to be able to play. And what's good is he can handle the ball, and Jim's probably more of a natural too. He's just been forced to play the point guard for us over the years, you know, I thought a lot of guys came in and did a good job. I thought Brody Thompson did an excellent job for us. Jake Fletcher came in, and, you know, the stat sheet doesn't show it, but he got a big stop, made a heck of a pass, and, you know, just happy with our guys. You know, I challenged them at halftime, and we just got to get better defensively.
81, a couple other scores. Graceland beat Peru tonight, 81-71. We go to Peru on Saturday. And then Benedictine hanging around. They're 10-3 now. They beat Baker 62-51. But there's still lots to play for. We go to Peru. We haven't won there in a couple years. It'll be a good one to get one, wouldn't it?
It's a tough road win. So, you know, if you want to open up your checkbook and buy us some hotels and we'll go up tomorrow, we'll appreciate that.
Hey, I can open up my checkbook. I can open it up. And who's going to respond when they come looking for that bad check charge?
Hey, you just wrote it, right? It didn't mean it was any good.
All right, good win. We'll see you at Peru.
All right, thank you.
All right, the Vikings win it 81-70. Again, quickly going over the scoring before we wrap things up. Jim Thomas, 24 points, and Jacob Powell at 21. They were the only two in double figures. James Lane had 9, 8 apiece for Raphael Burton, Brad Hamilton, and Jonathan Bird, and then 3 for that was it as far as the scoring. 3 points for Andre Scott. For the Eagles, 19 for Brandon Murillo, 18 Justin Reed, 12 Cedric Johnson, 2 for Keith Taylor, 7 Jordan Jensen. Isaac Ransom had 6, and 3 for Duran Tolliver. Joe, the Vikes shot 56%. Pretty good win today.
Jacob Powell. Of course, Andre Scott and Jacob Powell, two guys I guess I'm partial to because I had them up at Wentworth. I'm not the basketball coach, but got to watch them play and got to be friends with both of them last year. And what a big game Jacob had tonight. We talked about his 21 points, but look at that, Ken. He was a leading rebounder. He had 9 rebounds in the game, too. So what a game he played, and just a good team. But you're right when you talked about Jim Thomas. He just kind of put this team on his back the last 2 games, averaging 23.5 points in the last 2. And we have just seen his offensive game progress so much. You can almost see improvement each night he steps out on the court. It's a good team win tonight. This Avila team, it wouldn't show it by the record, but Rodney Perry's team has played some good teams tough. They beat some of the top teams in the conference.
All right, well, let's go to Peru and see if we can get another doubleheader on Saturday.
That'd be good. Let's go. Nice short little John up there, but we'll celebrate Valentine's. And guys, don't forget, tomorrow's Valentine's Day. If you haven't gotten something yet, got a card or some flowers, or don't have dinner plans, get it taken care of. You'll pay for it the rest of the year.
Or you
right?
can come and join me at a high school basketball
game. Yeah, there you go. Hey, if you have nothing else,
nothing else, you come join me.
That's where the action will be.
Okay, we'll see you Saturday. Thanks to our live stream crew and everyone else. Vikings win a doubleheader over Avila. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast, the webcast. Talk to you Saturday.
Take those with you. I can't eat those.